Hey everybody, it's Mr. Florida Flipper here, and we are in the garage. It is super duper hot outside, and we are gonna pick a couple of items that we sold today. Not too many today. It's been a little slow for us here on eBay recently, but I have started Whatnot. So I did 2 Whatnot shows. I did one on the 4th, and I did one about a week before. First show I made about $70. Second show I made like 50. So not incredible, but it was actually a lot of fun. I think I only went live for about an hour. The first show I had a little family emergency. My daughter left the sink running and it overflowed. Huge mess, so I kind of had to end that show early. But it didn't take very long to get people to come in and start buying, especially that first show. I think I had about 6 or 7 people in there pretty much throughout the entire show, so for the whole hour. I had about 4 or 5 different people bidding on items, so it was a lot of fun. Definitely didn't make that much money, but the items that I had were like items that I put in my garage sale pile. So it was stuff that I probably would have gotten $1 for anyways. So it was nice to try. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. Let's go ahead and pick these items. One of the items is inside. It's some chapstick that I picked up in a big lot of chapstick. Obviously, you don't want to keep that out in the garage. It's so hot outside. It's been about 95 degrees plus here in Florida lately. That's why I had to open it up today to let some air flow. But we're gonna go ahead and pick these items. So the first one are gonna be these Woody boots. These were actually for my son's Halloween costume. So he got these and he doesn't wear them, and they light up. So they're pretty cool. But yeah, so that's one of the items. Then what is the other one we have today? Let's look at all this. Oh, it's a pair of glasses. So let's check and see which one it is. They're Rag and Bone. They might not be up here. Actually, I think they're down. They're right in this box right here under this. Oh, no, that's a spoon. Oh, here they are, over in the corner. So there they are right there. Those are the Rag and Bone sunglasses. Pretty nice. Sold those for about 40 bucks. So we got those with the sunglasses. We'll put them in there. And then we'll go get that item inside. Also, we sold these right here, actually in the same box. Is that them? Yes, 2 coin books. I put these, it's crazy that this happened. So I put these 2 up for sale. I put those 2 books up for sale, did an auction on them actually, which normally, you know, I don't ever really do auctions unless it's a really rare item or an item that I don't know much about. But this is one of those rare cases where I really didn't know what somebody would pay for it because they're wheat penny books. So it wasn't full. There was a lot of paid pennies missing. I would say out of all the pennies, I think it goes from 1909 to like 1941, and then the other book goes from 1941 till current, basically. I would say that there's probably only 40 pennies total throughout both those books. I'll go ahead and, when I bring them inside, show you kind of what's in them. So I wasn't really sure what somebody would be willing to pay. There's not really a comparison for that kind of thing, you know. Whenever you're doing a sale like that, you don't really know what somebody would pay because there's no comparable comps. So I did that one as an auction, and it went pretty well. I put it by now at $10 for both books plus shipping, and I ended up getting $23.50. So that was pretty good. So I don't know why people don't just do the buy it now. I do know eBay, once you get past the halfway point, so let's say I did that one for $10, once the auction price gets to $5, automatically that buy it now goes away. So that is kind of a cool feature that they do, so you can make a little bit more money. So nice to keep that in mind. And a lot of times you'll hear on YouTube, and different people will say you should start the auction at something you're comfortable with, but I say start at 99 cents. You'll get a lot more bids when you start them at $5. Like for those coin books, if I would have started at $5, I probably wouldn't have got any action until the last day of the sale. And this way, since it started at 99 cents, I had some hits right off the bat. You know, every couple of days I'd have a couple bids here and there, and then on the final day, my bids were going off pretty quickly. I think it went from about $12 to $15 on the last couple, probably hours of the sale, to that $23. Also, make sure when you're doing an auction, set the time at a normal time. So what I mean by that is, let's say right now, your sale's gonna run 7 days. So let's say it's about 12 p.m. right now. If I start it now, it'll end on 12 p.m. 7 days from now. So make sure to keep that in mind. I'm on the East Coast, so you don't want to start an auction at 3 o'clock in the morning because then your auction's going to end at 3 a.m. and the people that might be bidding on it at those last few moments might be asleep. So keep that in mind. Definitely want to try to keep it in the after work hours or before work hours, in the morning time, or if it's on a weekend, make sure it's like, a normal time that you'd be awake on the weekend. That's always nice. Weekends are better too, because obviously people aren't working usually, most people. But I have to go and show you my pile because it's getting a little out of control. So for a while now, I've been using this racking system to put all my items in. Well, I'm running out of room, and also I need to reorganize it. If that's becoming a constant theme, I need more shelving space. I've gotten past the 250 item threshold that I was using for the store. I'm at about 300 plus now, and it's just, this isn't working, just this racking system. As you can see, I have a little bit of space over there that could be utilized better as I'm pulling items, but now it's become this sprawling box nightmare that I have going on. So pretty much anytime I list, whatever I list, I put in the box. So basically that's 1 day's listing, that's 2 days, another day listing, I put them in these boxes. And my box pile has grown about 6 feet out here, and it's just getting a little unwieldy. So I definitely need more shelving space. That's gonna be a thing you run into as you try to scale your business up. We'll run on some of the numbers on my store. When we head inside, let's go ahead and pick up those items, and I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, well, we moved inside. It is way too hot to be out there for a long period of time, but I brought these in here, so we'll go ahead and look at those. 1 second, let me turn it around. So I brought those coin books inside, and I just kind of wanted to show you what I was talking about with these. So I bought these on Whatnot for $3, both of them. I think I ended up paying about $5 or $6 with shipping. So they have these little coins. If I can show them standing up, kind of hard to see with the reflection, but you see they're dated. And it just has these few. The 1941 obviously has a lot more than the other one. And they have some pretty cool coins. I am a coin collector myself, but it just wasn't really worth it to me to have these books. But that's what they have. So you can see, I think I counted them and I said there's about 75 on the listing, including all those extra ones, because I think it goes to like 1960 or something. But then for this one, there's not that many. And this one, here's that. But yeah, just a little coin book, and like, see, this one's pretty much empty. But somebody that wants to collect them, they can put them in there and do what they want with them. $23, I'll take that all day. And I showed you those boots outside, those Woody boots, and these are in pretty nice condition. Oh, there it goes. I have to really hit it to get it to light up. Like I said, those were my son's old boots, so we just sold those. And the Rag & Bone sunglasses, those are pretty nice. I think I bought those for $6 as well with shipping. Whatnot's pretty cool sourcing spot, I will say that. Definitely would try that out spot because you can find a lot of good deals. Find a specific seller that has the items you're kind of looking for and then buy them. You can get good deals, and the more you go to a seller's shows, you can kind of see the people that are in there, what the items usually go for. You can get really amazing deals. I got a humidifier. I had it out there. I don't know if you saw it in the video. It's a cigar humidifier, but it was like red. It was pretty, basically brand new. Bought it for $6 for like with shipping. That's how much it cost. It was crazy. Like, I don't even know. I hit the free shipping on the that seller's thing. Definitely wouldn't sell that big of things, but I'll also list some of the things I sold on Whatnot, or I might do like a, maybe not what I sold, but I might try to do a behind the scenes on Whatnot. I don't know that much about it, honestly. It's a little bit complicated. Going into a couple things that I don't like about it though, being a seller from eBay and not really dealing with another selling platform before. With Whatnot, the item has to be delivered to the person who bought it. And then 72 hours after delivery, you will be paid out. So unlike eBay, you pretty much get paid instantly. I think there's usually like a 1-day processing for your funds to be available. But that's also because I've been an established seller. I think eBay kind of has the same thing where until you deliver a few orders. But with Whatnot, you have to have 1,000 items sold before you can unlock like instant payouts, where the money's automatically after the show is yours. So that's a little bit of a hurdle. That's a lot of sales to get that unlocked. And then the other thing that is a little different that I don't like is the shipping. So basically you set the shipping amount, like the weight of the item, and then Whatnot somehow puts it all together, all the items that seller bought, and will put that shipping cost to the buyer to pay. But you can also set a max shipping amount, which I recommend doing that. It's a really janky system, it seems like, what they have, because even as on the buyer side, where people don't have the max shipping, your first purchase, you might pay $8 in shipping. But once you break that seal, then your shipping is pretty much free or severely reduced. So it is like kind of an incentive thing to continue to buy. It's a good little strategy that Whatnot has worked out. But let's say, for instance, on my show that I think the shipping was let's say it was $8. So the first item they buy, they pay $8. Then the second item they buy is free shipping, and then so on, so on. Then maybe by the third or fourth item, depending on what weight you pick, because you can pick like between 1 and 3 ounces, 4 and 7 ounces, and so on and so on, pound, whatever. So based on the item that you sold and you pick your little thing, how much weight, it'll give them free. And then maybe on the third or fourth item, like I was saying, you will have an item that it's like 75 cents to ship. So it's an extra 75 cents for you to pay. And then maybe it'll be free again, and then it'll be $2 or whatever. So it works its way. But unlike eBay, where eBay will, let's say you can set a flat shipping rate of $15 or even calculated shipping, and it's $7 for that buyer to get that item shipped to them. Whatnot will either you set the maximum or do the shipping as it goes, but you don't see any of the money for shipping. So if the buyer does overpay any, you don't get anything. And also Whatnot has it to where they don't charge you fees on the shipping either, which is nice. So basically, you sell something for $3, they take their little commission, and then the buyer behind the scenes, you don't even see what the buyer pays for the shipping, which is kind of interesting, I thought. But I definitely think you should, and it sounds bad, but I think you should undercut what you think the item weighs. Drop it down a category. So if you think it's in the, let's say you think it's in the 12 to 15 ounce category, drop it down to 8 to 12. Because it doesn't really encourage the buyer to pay more shipping because you're not getting any of the benefit. And it's only, I've had to pay, there was a couple items where I had to pay more because the amount of the items the buyer bought, the weight was too high. So I ended up paying, I think on the first show I did, about $10 extra in shipping because of the weight amount. And so it didn't calculate, I guess, for the buyer correctly. And then the second show, I think I had to pay $15 extra. And that was because I did giveaways, which giveaways you pay as the seller, obviously, for the shipping, which three of the giveaways I did all went to somebody who didn't buy anything, which is totally fine. I understand that's part of it. But one, I did a buyer's giveaway, and I gave out $5 bill. And the lowest shipping profile they let you select is 1 to 3 ounces. So on that, even though that buyer bought like 10 items from me total throughout the show, it still added on that giveaway as a separate thing. So it said it was an extra 3 ounces. So I had to pay it $1.81 on shipping for that. And it just didn't make sense to me because I'm like, a $5 bill weighs nothing. So I probably won't do giveaways like that in the future. I'll probably just give away things to my buyers like, hey, this buyer, thank you for buying $10 worth of stuff. I'm going to throw in this free item for you. So that's probably how I'm going to do it in the future, because then I can just put it in the box and not have to be charged for the shipping. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit more into it. I know that a lot of other eBayers, Whatnotters or YouTubers talk about the shipping problem with Whatnot. It's really cool because of the fact you can use any priority mailbox, any size, and pay the same amount. You can use any box, and basically it doesn't matter. You can use the medium, the large, any priority. So that does make it pretty nice. So you can use those boxes. I didn't really use them because most of the items I was shipping, I did a lot of plush on my second show. They wouldn't fit even in a large box because those boxes are not deep at all. They have no depth to them. I think they're like 5 or 6 inches. I have to check, but I probably will use them a little bit more. There was definitely a good amount of orders. I think I had 8 buyers total on that, and I think I could have fit half of them in a priority mailbox, which I think that would be better because then I can charge a flat rate of shipping to those buyers instead of them having to pay more, because you want people to buy more things, so you don't want shipping to be a hurdle. It's nice once you pay that $8, then you're done. It's like, hey, you paid $8, now everything after that is free shipping for you. But you really never know how many items a buyer's gonna buy. Let's say they buy more than what will fit in a large priority mail box. Now you have to ship it. and you're gonna have to do something with that. So kind of a cool thing though. Definitely had fun. It was really fun. Like I said, I only did it for about an hour, which I felt like was a good amount of time invested to get like I said, I got 70 bucks. It was like $68, 70 bucks on the first show, and then about 50 bucks on the second show. So 70 bucks an hour, 50 bucks an hour, not bad. After fees and everything, that's the thing that's gonna be the killer, because it only shows you your total payout. So it doesn't deduct the shipping that I paid extra. It doesn't deduct the fact that Whatnot took its fees out. I don't like that. It doesn't really give you a good show of what it is. Now you can click into each individual order and it'll say like, oh, you sold this for $3 minus our little fee, you make $242. So basically about, let's say on both of those days, so 70 and 50. So 70 plus 50, 120 bucks. Let's cut it in half and say 60. So for 2 hours worth of work, I made $60. $30 an hour, that's pretty good. I mean, I'll be happy with that. The items, like I said, were items that I shouldn't have bought probably when I did buy them, or were like, I think I had some old hats that I didn't use anymore and some old shirts that were too small for me. And then just other things, like I said, that I shouldn't have bought that I bought, and then I just gathered a box. So that's basically what I'm gonna try to do from now on, is instead of doing a garage sale box and make $1 an item, I might make a couple bucks extra on Whatnot, and it's a little bit more fun, and I can build a following, which is, I think that's kind of the big thing about Whatnot. You have to build a following. When I first started the first show, just because I have been an avid buyer, I had about 30 followers already on Whatnot. By this time my second show had finished, I had 70. So within a week, I made another 30 followers. So I think it worked. A lot of people followed it. There was a lot of encouragement, which I like. On Whatnot, if you go on there, even as a buyer, it's fun. There's one specific buyer I buy from, and it's like a family, like the people that come to his shows every week. He has 2 shows a week, which is nice, not too many. And he has really great items. It kind of becomes a family. So that's kind of the cool thing about Whatnot, I'll say. It's like a community-driven platform for sure. A lot of fun. And no returns, really. I think you have 3 days after you receive the item to open like a return, which is basically either going through Whatnot or going to the seller directly. I did have one time, I've probably spent over $2,000 on Whatnot. And I think that I had 2 items so far that I actually did ask a return, and Whatnot, I think, basically took care of it, because I didn't have any contact from the seller. Whatnot basically sent a message and said, hey, you can either, you have 2 options. We can get with the buyer and see if he has another one, or we can just refund you the money. I just said refund me the money, because you're not gonna have, like, it was a one-off item. It was like this book. But the book, how he showed it, it was in a bag. He never took it out of the bag, which kind of a red flag. When I got the book, the whole thing was falling apart. I mean, mind you, it was like a 100-year-old book, but still, I mean, there's nothing I can do with it. It was basically fire starter at that point. It was falling apart, and it had no binding. It was a bad deal. And then the other item, it was a similar thing where it was like basically unusable when I got it. So did that. It was like 40 bucks out of the 2,000. I'm sure they have a thing set up for if you abuse that system. But it seems like right now Whatnot is trying to take care of as much issues as possible, just to make the buyers happy. Whereas eBay, it's like you get the 30-day return period and it's all on the sellers. Whatnot's kind of taking it on their side instead of putting it on the seller side. But that's a Whatnot thing. This is an eBay mostly show, but I am getting into it. I like it. And I just wanted to show you guys when I was outside, I was dying of heat. It's 100 degrees outside right now here where I live. It's pretty crazy. Here are those chapsticks. I have about 40 of these chapsticks. I got them in a big lot for really, really, really cheap. And I'm selling them for $10.99, free shipping for every 2. So making about, I would say about 7 or 8 bucks per item, with including shipping and everything like that. So nice little item. It's always nice to get a multi-quantity listing, because you can just take 3 pictures, put it up there, put a quantity, and be done. I got this big lot of Keurig. Those are disposable Keurig coffee filters from Whatnot in a giant box, and I got like over 100 of them. So I have like 20 multiple listings, and I just sold the first one this week. Made a couple bucks on it. I figured that after I sell out of the 20, once I sell I think 3 or 4, I'll be in the green, where I'll be in the profit. So every one after that will be profit. So that's nice. But yeah, that is all of my orders today. So those 4 things right there, basically once you add them all up, that's about 100 bucks, and then $100 in a day. That's nice. 2 of the items are, well, the boots really I have no cost into because we bought him like a year ago. My son wore him for a Halloween costume and a couple times after that. Now he's too big for him. So that's basically a zero cost. The penny, $6. The glasses, $6. The chapsticks, I mean, I would say $2, $1 a piece maybe. Not even that total with everything because I bought a big amount of them. So what, $20 out of the 100, so $80 in a day. Gotta love it. So that is gonna be pretty much it for it, guys. I'll show you some of my numbers at the end like always, and I hope you guys have a great one. Mr. Florida Flipper, out.
For me, break, for me, break that body for me, what?